Welcome to Online Appliance Tech. Today we're working on a GE refrigerator that's not cooling. Most of the time it's the inverter. So in this video I'm going to show you how to check it and make sure that it's not the main control board or the compressor. So the first thing we want to do is check voltage to the inverter from the main control board. To activate this inverter, the main control board will send anywhere from 5.5 to 6.5 DC voltage. So it's great to have a multimeter where you can put the prongs in to check. As you can see, we get 6.64 voltage. So as you can see, we're getting 6.64 DC voltage to activate the inverter. At this point the compressor should be running, but if not, more likely it's your inverter. So let's unplug the unit. Then you want to take a Phillips screwdriver and remove the ground wire from the housing. And usually there would be a screw right here that would hold the inverter into the compressor, which you will have to remove. Don't worry, later on in the video I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Disconnect the DC wire and harness. This is the line that sends power from the main board to the inverter to activate. Basically just sends it a signal. You'll take a flathead and pry off the wire and harness to the compressor. Just take your time and be gentle. Then you're going to disconnect the 120 volt coax. This is another power supply. It's a 120 voltage supply. So basically the inverter can turn that 120 up to 220. So this is a new inverter. And this is a new replacement for the GE compressors. So now we're going to make sure we have a good compressor. We're going to ohm it out. On these variable speed compressors, you should get the same value all the way around. So 6.9, 6.9, 6.9. Unfortunately, the multimeter I'm using now is kind of glitchy. So now we're going to check to make sure the compressor is not shorted. So as you can see, it's open line, which is good. If you read some type of number doing this test, that means the internal winding is hitting the ground or hitting the housing of the compressor, which means it's shorted and would have to be replaced. But 99.9 is always the inverter. I do recommend getting a multimeter just to have for other future purposes too, like checking your outlets of your home and so forth. So here's the inverter. So you'll just basically slide it beside the compressor. You're going to connect the harness into the compressor. And it's basically the same way you removed the old one, you'll put in the new one. So just line up your prongs and just press it flush against the compressor. Okay, so to install this inverter, you kind of have a lip on the compressor that comes up, and you have to press the inverter kind of over and down to overhook that lip of the compressor, and then press down. And then the screw that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, you have to line that up perfectly where you can install the screw that holds the inverter to the compressor. And if you do need a part for this inverter or part number, I will leave this in the description below. So let me see where I'm at. So yeah, just press that down until you line up the hole with the one behind the compressor or on the compressor. And this is the screw that you would usually remove to remove the old compressor. So a lot of times these inverters, they go out because the condensers are very dirty and they cause such a high amp draw it will short out the inverter. So don't forget to clean your condensers. So just reinstall the screws wherever you removed them. Just put them back because some units are different than others. But usually there's just 1 to 2 ground screws and the rest are just 2 harnesses that you just click back into place. This was a built-in GE Monogram, but all GEs are the same. So there we go, we connect the ground wire. Then we'll go on to connect our DC signal. So this inverter too actually comes with 2 additional connections. That way you can have the right one to connect to any type of GE refrigerator that you have. And then you'll connect the 120 volt supply and just kind of tuck it in nicely somewhere and just plug in your unit, and you should have a compressor that's working. So as you can see here, I got 100, well actually not 120 volts, 6.4 DC voltage, which comes from the main control board. Let me plug it in and you'll see the voltage supply. Then right away you'll hear the compressor turn on. It'll just slowly but surely amp up. If you do not have the 6.4, that will be your main control board, which is on the far left. So there we go, 6.5. And as we can see, the compressor is turned on, so great. I hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe for more future tips and videos. If you have any questions, please leave in comments below. Thank you.